What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 20 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Grimgor Ironhide campaign. So as we saw last time, Grimgor had an actual challenge facing him at Vol's Anvil as massive amounts of enemy Glade Guard filled the skies with their arrows. Fortunately, though, the armor of the Black Orcs held strong and we were able to work our way through it, and will now continue towards the destruction of Athaloran. Doing pretty decently here, and Durthu will probably be the last of the holdouts here, which also does make a decent amount of sense. We are also poised to have a pretty darn big battle out here against the dead two little chaff armies, but don't underestimate undead chaff armies, and it looks like two Terrorgeists and a zombie dragon. Plus a pretty darn decent elite garrison in Castle and Drakenfels as well. 4 cannon rates and 6 Graveguard and assorted other units. Should be a fun time. So let's start moving towards it. Spite Blood Reaper, you're first on the menu, as it were. We're still probably not going to take Summershall Fort, and we're not at war with these guys, so I think it's better to just ignore this for now until we get an army or two here. Oh, I guess if we really wanted to, we could use Vicious the Despicable's extra forces. I was going to delete these and send them to Summershall, take them together, or maybe have these two attack all of these for another massive fight against the dead. You know what? I kind of like the idea. Let's put you here near Summershall. Maybe right here. And then we'll put Vicious near ya. Wait, how far can you travel? Go into... Okay, you can travel pretty far. Like so. And I would like you to continue. Wait, are you guys close enough to support each other? Can't quite tell. I don't want to be losing out on money because Summershall Fort makes a lot more cash. Oh, I'm just going to assume you're good, right? Wait. Just stay here. I doubt they're going to attack us. At least I really doubt. And plus, I think you should be able to back off towards... towards this guy. Maybe that's the way to do it. Well, either way. Let's continue. We will adapt if needed. The recruiter, Kriggerbeard, taken. Either one of you needs to move, but Arachnic sure does. You're going to go into WAAAGH begins. No, you are not. I lied. You're going to stay in normal stance, and you're going to hit Baroque Water. Like so. And the Lichbone Pennant is going to go on one of the spiders. Let's go for the regular one, because the lava one already has a bunch of fancy stuff. Yeah, alright. I'll resolve this. A little bit of damage on our spiders, but it's hardly surprising. We are going to occupy the place. Alright. I've been actually pretty impressed with the melee spider riders. Been pretty happy with them. I mean, look at it this way. This unit costs 57 upkeep. They're literally half the price of a Night Goblin Fanatic unit. 57 is nothing, but they have 90 armor, 53 melee attack that applies lethal poison, 97 charge, 106 speed, and 55 weapon strength on a unit with 75. That's tier 1 at that. Decent amounts of armor piercing, as much as regular damage, and plenty of bonus versus large coming in from the fact that they have spears and the goblin buffs that they have. Really like these guys. These guys, the archers, don't do much damage in range, but they serve their purpose. Once again, they're cheap units, and if we can use them to, for example, lead away a much more elite unit that's much more costly, like if you get a unit of, I don't know, Chaos Knights that cost 400 gold plus per turn and upkeep, and it spends the entire battle following a Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archer, then, well, you're being really efficient with your units, so, yeah, light Kavanaugh after all. Anyway, I digress as I like to do. Let's continue. Nobber. Now, you and Grommy, who's gonna go where? Wait, how do we do this? Can we actually hit you? I don't know. Let's find out. Grom... if we sack Grenadier... Okay, no, here's what we'll do. We'll move Grom right here. If I'm right about this. You're gonna go right here, and we're going to encircle this, which means, Nobber, can you... Yes, you can. You can reach Anno von Sinclair, so we're gonna put you right here. Right, gotta be careful about the movement. stay here. I hope this isn't a screw up, and let's hope that he can still move far enough. And yes, you can. Just barely so, but yes, you can. Alright, then. We're going to auto-resolve this, obviously. It's probably going to hurt more than I'd like, but what can you do? Actually, it's fine. And we are going to sack it, so that we can maintain movement. Then, we'll need to put... Ooh. Huh. Will this still work, though? Let me see. I'm going to have to put you into march stance. Let's hope that you are not in the way of Nobber and he can still move. Alright, like so. Towards auto. And can you still reach this guy? Yes, indeed you can. Fantastic. Let's level up Grommy. And, oh, it's this guy. It's gonna be a while till he has shrooms and the biggest teeth, so I guess we can ignore him for now. He's new on that particular army's team. Before we get started, unfortunately, it looks like we did not reach the threshold this time. We did reach the common threshold, but not the like threshold, by about 50 likes. I think still I'll do this one last hour-long episode, but likely, unless we reach 250 likes and 40 comments, this will be the last of those, so let's make sure to enjoy it with a massive fight and more work for those chariots. Oh, maybe I'll give a bunch of names to some of the chariots and other units while we're at it. Gotta remember to do that after the battle, but it's battle time first. Alright, yes indeed, here we go. I guess the fight against Kemmler will have turned out to have been sort of a warm-up as we have even more undead arrayed against us. Should be a pretty darn fun time, and we're going to start the battle off deployed where we're reasonably safe, rather than going forward with at least most of our units, and are going to try to annoy the first enemy army without giving up this relatively decent position. Grom is going to come onto the field, and we will probably be able to get him into the fray long before the very slow-moving units of the two reinforcement stacks can get here. I think it might have actually been better to have deployed all the way up here and fought here, as it would have given us an even more advantageous position, even more so if we want to just blob off, whatever, this area from impassable terrain to impassable terrain, but I'm sure we'll do fine. Unlike many of our armies, this particular army will like an open field a lot more, so that we can maneuver all of our chariots and pump wagons around. Alright, anyway, speaking of chariots and pump wagons, the chariots are in and riding, driving, etc. through those piles of zombies, though it does look like the zombies are blocking them off well enough. Granted, that's what they're for targeting any units, and it looks like they're going to be pretty effective, at least against the chariots, but they are going to struggle against the pump wagons, who seem to have, seem to be getting plenty of air on any units they pass through. Alright, and we're essentially just going to repeatedly pass our chariots and our pump wagons through the different sides of the enemy army, going from one direction to the other, and then back. Just like Grimgor's concept of marching across the world. So, these guys are going to keep it up all the while the enemy approaches our main line. It's going to take them a while to get here, and they'll be taking plenty of damage while they do. Anyway, enemy Terrorgeist has moved in, but foolishly, because the Arachnarok or the Catchweb Spider Shrine was here all along, and while the Terrorgeist tried to fight it, it was getting hit in the back by the Goblin Wolf Rider archers, who are out front. Over in the background, we have our two units of Doom Divers sniping away at those enemy units of Corpse Guards. And once again, this is the AI being an idiot and not keeping the Corpse Guards, which are so instrumental to making your basic units of Undead so much stronger, and the AI just doesn't keep them near their units. It's very, very strange. Funnily enough, speaking about Corpse Guards, with the revival of the Aranessa campaign on the second channel, we just had a battle where basically a single unit of animated Hulks with a Corpse Guard borrowed from an ally held off like I want to say 5 or 6 orky units by itself, and rather heavy ones at that, as in biggins and boar boys and stuff, and remained at full HP, and despite being by itself because of that corpse guard. They're really quite necessary. And the AI doesn't get it. But anyway, looks like some of the enemy's skelly boys in Graveguard have arrived to fight our biggins, whether savage or not, but obviously they're going to not have a very good time in doing so. Our reinforcements are also arriving on the field. We can see the massive pile of pump wagons and the Arachnaroks skittering along in the background, while the Catchweb Spider Shrine continues to do its thing. No amount of zombies or skeletons is going to be a threat to this thing, especially without those corpse guard buffs. And so it looks like we're gonna rack up plenty of kills on Nobber, and we're already up at 79 and 15k damage. Very nice. Here come more spiders, a spider train, spider convoy to join the fray. We've got some decent engagement going on here, though. Biggins facing off against the Graveguard with great weapons, piercing the massive 122 armor of the Teeth Collectors, and we got poison application on them as well from the enemy Crypt Ghouls. Gonna have to help them out by sending some Savage Orcs in to hit the enemy in the back. Of course, we're not under threat of being destroyed by these units, but we gotta be careful. Here we go, more pump wagons have arrived, pump wagons aplenty, and the first of the enemy armies is pretty screwed by the looks of it. Also, we've killed off the first of the enemy necromancer slash corpse carts, and it looks like the second one has been nearly destroyed by those doom divers as well. A really, really annoying unit for when you have a corpse guard like this. Also, over in the background, we have our chariots sort of running around. Unfortunately, the boar boy chariots, or the boar chariots rather, and did get caught by the 2 units of Cairn Wraiths here, and the Cairn Wraiths were able to stop them in their tracks and just obliterate their HP. Hardly surprising because they're armor piercing and they've got Strider and stuff, but it is a little bit surprising because they shouldn't have the mass, being ethereal, ghostly units, to stop a chariot, but apparently they did. Good job to them, and we're going to move the boar chariots away and rejoin the fray as far away as possible from those from very nice air, very, very nice air from the flappers. They got wings for a reason, and we got more flappers coming in. Haven't seen the Flappers do too much in this campaign so far, so it's nice to see them get those nice charges and get their speed up and running so quickly because of their Strider ability. A massive pile of zombies and skeletons and Graveguard are continuing to try to move towards us, but the spiky rollers have just been annoying them this entire time, riding around through the midst of all this and being relatively unharmed. Unlike the boar chariots, they can move pretty much freely in all this, and they don't get stuck, and thus they're going to probably output considerably more damage than the chariots are, though the chariots did get a little bit screwed over this time. We've got other chariots though, not just the boar boys, but the goblin wolf chariots as well, charging into the back of the enemy zombies and skeletons, and we're gonna follow up with those flappers and those shroom throwers. What were they called? Spore sploders. Shroom throwers, spore sploders, same thing, close enough. Alright, looking like a pretty good time, at least over in the over where the pump wagons are doing their thing. And just look at all those undead. Alright, and now I think we're safe to leave the confines of the impassable terrain, so Grom and the various Arachnaroks and all of those biggins are gonna head forth and join the battle against the skeletons and the zombies in Graveguard. Can't let the pump wagons have all the fun after all. Itchy Nuisance coming down on everybody, and we've been spamming Itchy Nuisance for pretty much the entire battle. Speaking of the battle, the bounce barrel has shifted to about 70% in our favor already, and a third Necromancer Lord on a corpse guard getting beaten up by those Doom Divers. Lovely. Another Cairn Wraith unit has managed to catch another one of our boar chariots, which almost got destroyed, so we briefly charge in the various Goblin Wolf Rider archers, or is it just Goblin Wolf Riders? not Wolf Rider archers, to stop those Cairn Wraiths, and then we can get out without taking too much damage and send in some Savage Orcs to fight the enemy here. Unfortunately, we don't have any Bone Clubbers in this army, so no easy access to magical damage, so the Cairn Wraiths are going to be a little bit tough. But soon enough, Lord Nobber will have access to magics, as in damaging magics like the Curse of the Bad Moon, so we won't need to rely solely on units to do that type of damage. Over in the background, it looks like we got Grom fighting a few units of Cairn Wraiths and starting to take damage, having dropped him to about 2/3 of his HP, and a zombie dragon helping out as well. Nice little contest here, though not ideal for Grommy, I think, as he has taken damage. And I think this is the first time he's really taken any damage at all. I'm gonna help him out a little bit with those flappers and the pump wagons. With the flappers moved together with the rather fragile wolf chariots, whereas the other pump wagons, the spiky rollers, do whatever they please, because they're not nearly as fragile as the spore sploders or the flappers. I mean, they've got 82 armor here, and some of them have 102, yeah. So they're not, 102 armor plus 30% resistance. It's no surprise that they don't go down easy. You can buff them up quite a bit. Alright. I think the 102 armor ones must be the ones that are in Grom's army rather than in Nobber's army, so obviously they'll be a little stronger in Grom's. Anyway, another Terrorgeist comes down and looks like a Soul Blight hits oh, no, it was another spell. Oh, it was a Terrorgeist Shriek. Okay, somewhat similar effect. But anyway, the enemy army does not have all that much left. The Arachnaroks, together with all those biggins, still holding off the massive piles of enemy infantry, and now those spiky rollers return to the fray to hit them right in the back. Ooh, a nice Terrorgeist Shriek right into the middle of our blob of units, hitting those forest goblins and taking out about a quarter of their number. But being crushed between biggins and Arachnaroks and spiky rollers, it doesn't seem like a place anybody here wants to be, and it looks like the enemy army will begin to shatter. Oh, lovely. What a glorious battle, and I think everybody had their job to do in this particular army, and pretty much everybody did this said job. The only unit we weren't able to use effectively this time around was the boar chariots, but that was mostly me accidentally not watching them, too busy microing the pump wagons, and then thus allowing the chariots to get caught by those Cairn Wraiths. And to be fair, I also thought that they could just ride through the Cairn Wraiths as they wouldn't have enough mass to stop them, but they absolutely did. But no big deal. Anyway, close victory for us, and a rather nice one at that. Ooh, alrighty, there we go, a glorious battle, and we have pretty much destroyed these armies. A decent amount of units coming out. Oh, come on, all 4 Cairn Wraiths survive. Ugh, the AI luck with the dead rise is just obnoxious. At least the Terrorgeist here died, but really all 4 Cairn Wraiths, and they were the biggest threats on the field by far as well. 23k damage and 19k damage from the enemy. 32k damage on this Terrorgeist as well. Not too bad at all. How'd the enemy dragon do, out of curiosity? Terrorgeist, okay, he's right here. He revived. 11k damage, most of which was to Grom with the help of those Cairn Wraiths. Okay, Spider, just relax for like 2 seconds. I want to see how everybody did. 69k damage on Nobber, and this without any damaging spells. Mind you, you gotta love those catchweb spider shrines making the Goblin Lords so nice. It's almost odd to see that the Goblin Shaman Lords tend to be much, much superior because of this mount to the Orc Warboss Lords. 17k, 27k, very nice. On the next split is 600 615 damage onto friendly neighbors. Maybe not quite as friendly as you'd think. 35k damage and 615 kills. Football Hooligans got near 400 kills as well and 21k damage. Can't complain about that. I can complain about how the chariots, the boar chariots, got heavily damaged, though. Didn't get too much value out of the two that got the most hurt, although the one that did stay on the field the longest got 18k damage, which wasn't too bad. I think the unfortunate aspect of the boar chariots is that the spiky rollers, and I mean, I guess the pump wagons in general, but the spiky rollers in particular just outdo them. They are just superior, generally speaking, and they can stay in the battle far longer. They seem to have more mass and don't stop easily either, which is a little bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, we're using chariots for fun, not because I think orc chariots are all that great compared to a few other factions' fantastic chariots. But anyway, 77k damage on the parts card, pretty darn crazy. But I mean, general, the pump wagons, especially the spiky rollers, are a little bit overpowered for their cost, and this, mind you, was after their nerf. I remember when they came out, well, was it just after they came out? There was a time when they were just ridiculously overtuned, and they were nerfed because of it, but they're still quite good. Let's see. The second set did a little bit less damage, but they weren't in the battle nearly as long as the parts card, the Stunty Grinder, and oh, I didn't name you. I'm gonna name you right now. The Expendables and the Gobbo Space Program are two units of the Doom Divers. Also did great because they sniped both of the enemy Necromancers, or was it all three of the enemy Necromancers, by annoying them throughout the battle. And our Ragnaroks did fantastic as always. Anyway, we are going to, I guess, eat the captives. We still need to destroy what remains of the enemy here, as they have revived, and oh, we actually won't be able to reach them, so we'll have to fight at least some of them again, but what can you do? Yeah, so in that light we'll eat the captives. We're also in attrition territory, and I imagine we won't be able to quite reach Castle Drakenfels, but what can you do? Raiding camp for you. Grom is not in raiding camp, but he is also not suffering attrition because I guess he's here rather than in Drakenfels, which is okay. As long as the two can support each other, we'll be fine. And they'll both heal up. A free enchanted shield, enemy killed in battle, a backstabber, two backstabbers, and a grok has a mount. We'll wait until the enemy revives a little bit next turn, and then we'll hit him again, and damn, it's a lot of units coming back. Or healing up, rather. But if they have another army outside the settlement, they'll just get screwed over again, so it won't be too big of a deal. Anyway, let's see who else. Actually, you know what? Before seeing who else, let's do some naming. In fact, let's do a ton of naming. It's been a few episodes since I did a bunch. Let's start with you. Bone Clubber Tribe. The only bone clubbers in this particular army. The Edbangers for you. And then we got a bunch of orc biggins. Might as well name a few of them here. Oglok does buff them after all. Uthgors. Ardens. There we go. Nice. Cast Iron Boys. Love the name. And one more, let's say, Squad. Oh, and actually, somebody suggested that we rename Oglok the Orrible to Oglok the Borable, which is also fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, we did rename Arachnic Spiderclaw to Arachnic Spiderclaw, so Oglok the Orrible to the Borable makes absolute sense, and frankly, those should have been the names in the first place. They were right there. And it's not too on the nose, not too on the nose at all. Anyway, let's name a few more bone clubbers, and just get a bunch of names in here at once while we're here. The Spine Swingers. I love the name, and you're also a bone clubber. And how about the Rib Rattlers? Alright, I like both of those names together. Alright, you Cone Blubbers. Bone clubbers, cone blubbers, makes sense to me. Spoonerisms all over the place. And Spiky Get WAAAGHs. Alright, and that's okay. I'm probably not gonna name every single one of the Savage Orcs. Let's do one more. The Beast Terras. Very nice. Oh, we have no name suggested for the Savage Orc Error Boys. In fact, I don't think we got any archer names at all. Because I don't believe we got any for Spite Blood Reapers Archer Fanatics either. Nobody likes naming archers, and I know the orcs are not shooty, not a shooty faction. But you know what, fine. I'll do it myself. Error Boys, you can be the angry errors. There we go. That's all I can come up with on the spot, but at least we got one of them. I just feel like otherwise they're a little left out. Anyway, let's continue. Who else do we need to name? You know what? We were naming Boar Boys. Let's continue naming the Boar Boys while we're here. There have been some fantastic names for them. Been really enjoying. In fact, I might read them all out. Knights of the Realm. Makes sense to me. And how about the Higgins? Alright. And how about Hog Riders for you? And we need one more, so let's do Pork Boys. Alright, very nice. The WAAAGHs, the Bacon Brigade, pigging out Big Pigs, Knights of the Realm, the Piggins, rather, Hog Riders, Slaneshi Giggle, and Pork Boys. Very, very nice names for all of their various pigs. I wonder why you guys like the pigs so much. Alrighty, Sneak and Shriek will be the next name for a Gabo unit. Any Gabo unit? Let's do you. Oh no, actually it makes sense more Night Gabo units. Sneak and Shriek. I'm pretty sure the rest of these are already named. Yeah, Wannabes, Night Goblins, Night Boblins, those are named. Continuing to the name. We're on a roll here. This is like several episodes worth of naming, but I'm just going to do it in one since I forgot to do it in several episodes. River Trolls, you don't have a name. The Toad Faces, or is it just Toad Faces? I'm just going to do Toad Faces. Alright, and a regular troll name. Or should it be a stone troll name? Can't quite tell, just says trolls. How about beard stompers? Now, frankly, they'd probably be more likely to be beard eaters, but I guess you can stomp onto beards and then eat them. Makes sense to me, as these things do. Let's name a few of these chariots as well. Orc boar chariots. You did well. The middle one did the best in that battle, so you earned your name to Orc Taxi. And we have a name for, yes, the Wolf Riders, calling back to a previous campaign with this fantastic name, the Mange Rovers. I usually don't name regiments of renown, but this is such a good name that it deserves it. Very nice. Top tier. Absolutely top tier. Anyway, let's continue. How about let's name a Goblin Chariot as well, since we're naming at least one of these. One of each. You can be the Zumas. Nice, nice, nice. And let's name a few spiders. Everybody gets a few names. And who knows how many more naming sessions we'll have in this campaign, so gotta get those in there. Gorkill, Gutstab, you know, spiders, you. You're just an unnamed spider rider. And, Spin Doctors. Alright, and how about you? Ratniks Skitteras. And one more. Flame one. How about the Flame Weavers? Alright, 3 sounds good to me. What else do we have? Do we want any more? Maybe we do want some more. Just a couple. I don't want to spend the entire episode naming, but I do want to get just, once again, several episodes of names in there. Who has you? Rocklobbers. Goblin Rocklobbers. We don't use you all that much, so anti-pigeon crew. Like so. Alright, and ooh, you know what? We got those rogue idols and giants I still haven't named in Grimgor's army. So, Debiggin, and what follows is the Middleun. Did this one have an apostrophe? No, it did not. Okay, well then. The Middleun. And then obviously what follows, since we have Debiggin and the middle one, the last rogue idol will be Dwayne. because we need a non sequitur. Savage Giant, we got names for you as well. Orc War Belly Drum, War Belly Drum. Well, these guys have been absolute punching bags to the auto-resolve for this entire campaign, but you gotta be pretty hard to take so much punishment, so you can be. And hard lad. And alright, let's do a couple of the Arachnaroks and we'll be good. I swear, no more. Alright, how about you? We have Lava Arachnarok, you can be Broodmother. Not Broodmoither. Good spelling, Ruinous. Good spelling. And you can be... Itsy Bitsy. Alright, one more. I think not Grimgor, but Grom has 3 Arachnaroks. Alright, you. You can be Australian house pet. Alright, that I think is good enough for the naming for now, so let's continue. And just because I took so much time naming this episode, maybe I'll do the admin off screen, just to let you guys off easy. Gorekill Gutstabber, you're supposed to head towards the Black Pit, and in fact I had an idea there. Pass through the Skaven territories, except for attrition there, right? Go like this through non-Skaven territories, and then you can jump. Like so. An Ashok Legbiter, you're gonna join that army. Then, what we'll do is we'll recruit a lord here. A Night Goblin Lord. Gouger Legbiter, yeah sure, doesn't really matter who we recruit here. And what we want to do is this. You are going to recruit a Rogue Idol for this army to get the additional leadership that Rogue Idols provide. It'll have to be global recruitment. I hope we have Rogue Idol capacity. Yeah we do. 2.5k, ouch. And we could if we wanted to get a Savage Jump, but then it's just gonna get screwed over by the auto-resolve. I don't know, I'll think about it. Maybe not in this army, but maybe. And you will also get, just so that I don't forget, a Bloodrack Shrine in here to get the additional buffs and debuffs, because this is gonna be a Death Star army. And I wanted the Chaos War Shrine, 59 allegiance, gets a little much. We don't have that yet, but this thing provides 15 leadership. And we do want that. That'll almost counteract the issues the trolls are having. What about the Cornate faction? We need 27. Alright, well, we're not quite there, but we're getting there. And get a few of these Alliance or Allegiance units that will fix our leadership problems for us, since we don't have easy access to them. I want to double check whether we have missions, but alas, we do not. Now let's continue moving, everybody, then we'll end the turn. It was a big old battle, though, so I think it's appropriate to take some time to do some other stuff. Also, I've been thinking that maybe the, loot the carcass and auto-resolve, maybe the Bones trophy is actually a pretty good one. Not the middle one, but if we can find a very strong undead faction, if I'm right, and if I'm correct, speed will go either to plus 15 or plus 20% on another undead faction, which would mean a lot of speed would be applied to the Black Orcs. It might be enough to allow them to actually be able to chase down easily all of those Wood Elf units. Which would be quite nice, as it's the biggest weakness of Grimgor's army right now, the speed or the lack thereof, so... Oh, WAAAGH Finder. We also have a job for you, my friend. You're gonna go southward and you're gonna find us a WAAAGH, as the Confederation debuff is no longer up. Faction encountered, I do believe you're here. And you know what? Now that you found WAAAGH, you're going to be a Skarsnik Finder. Should it be Finder, but okay, I'm too lazy to redo it. Relations are pretty good. Let's see how WAAAGH feels about all this. Ooh, he's having trouble with some stuff. He's not quite willing to confederate, but if he loses a few... if he loses a few armies, he might be. We probably won't be sending an army down here to beat him up, so let's just do a few alliance things with him. And, ooh, if we could force him to declare war on some factions. Okay, no, you're not going to do that. It's probably not going to happen, but let's give it a try. Yeah, none of those are going to happen. Alright, let's do whatever alliances we can. Make him a little bit weaker by taking his money. I'm not going to do the defensive alliance with him for now. And the reason for that is maybe once he gets even weaker, he'll like this even more, and then we might be able to get him to declare war on somebody, which will weaken him further, which will hopefully allow us to get a confederation going. Ideally. Whether it'll work or not, we shall see. Anyway, that's it for the moves. There's tons of buildings to build, but since I spent so much time doing the naming, I think I will do it off screen, so we'll come back to the end turn after I do buildings. Alright, there we go, admin complete, and we're just about ready to go, though why are we letting Boris siege us here? He has nothing in his army, it's a bunch of huntsmen and crossbows and garbage. I mean, granted, the bordermen are extremely frightening units, but they get absolutely ripped apart by orc boys. Let's just auto-resolve this trash, and we'll go for slaughter captives for a little bit more public order. I don't actually know whether that buff actually works when you do it with a garrison, but I also don't care enough to look into it, so end turn. Alright, and Nakari, let me guess, you want to sue for peace now. You're not back up and running, but I think you're in trouble as Scarby is gonna go after you. And you're gonna go down, and not in a good way, or at least not the way that you would like. Alright, Bone Rattlers, Barrow Legion not going to attack us. Hopefully Bone Rattlers will soon lose a few armies and be willing to confed. There is a little orc faction, I forgot, some tribe that was willing to confed, but I don't think we're gonna do that. As in, I'd rather not waste the time. Shifty, I don't know who you are, but you can't have that. Oh, you're one of these guys. And, oh, this guy moved away here. Interesting, with that revived dragon. You're still right beside Castle Drakenfels, eh? Good for you. Alright, ready for duty, Ornery Blood Reaper, and somebody else, and the Age of Rage. Ooh, it looks like Scarbrand's having fun. Well, good for him. Alright, and let's see what we're looking at. This guy... Oh, are you gonna try to retake the Oak of Ages? I'm not sure you can. What I am sure of is... Wait, can Grimgor reach you? No, you're kind of in an interesting position, eh? An
impossible path.
That's real interesting. Man, I really don't want to waste Grimgor's turns chasing around after you. Aren't you dead? Yeah, you have no settlements, so you should have really just tried to attack Vol's Anvil. Which... Alright, alright. Can we move you into March Stance? And get to the yoke? No, at least not really. We could try underway stance, but they might intercept us. I think it's not worth the risk. And if you die, frankly, I don't care enough. So we're gonna move you right beside the yoke. And if we fight this in the field, we should have enough units. Even if they are garbage.
I forbid this dance.
Like so. Alright, should be good enough. And Rogue Idol Fairy, let's give you Inspiring Presence and Skarsnik's Death Juice. And just to help out, we will get also Du Bois to buff up slightly the units of Piggins here. Alright, Grimgor, unfortunately I think you're gonna have to waste the turn because we can't risk you retaking stuff, so you're just gonna ambush? An impossible path. Actually, if you can't move here, I guess we could start moving somewhere else. Okay, that's not Durthu. I probably shouldn't have moved you. We could have underway stance. And ooh, where are you going? Oh, you're going after these guys. Gets kind of funny. Grimgor, you can actually really close to reaching Halls of Anereth, which we could fight. So what we'll do is we'll put you right here in this territory, who I assume is at war with somebody that we can ask to... Yeah, we can ask the Ghost of Glan Boreal before we declare war on them, or the other Undead faction. Maybe we can kill them all, and if these guys come back here to Vol's Anvil, let's hope that they can't reach it, then Grimgor will kill them. Ideally. We'll see if it works out. Anyway, Spite Blood Reaper, you guys are probably going to attack the ghosts and should probably let... Ooh. And Pestilence is moving around here as well. Oh, actually, speaking of Clan Pestilence, I wanted to give them this territory. Khazad Frukand. Let's see. Great territory, Khazad Frukand. And we'll go for Military Alliance, and we'll ask you to join war against Reichland. And... let's say... Well, not the Barrow Legion. I don't want them taking our territory. Somebody who's far enough away. You'll do both. Seducers of Sanish and Torgavon. And you'll do those as well. I mean, you could do the Barrow Legion. Wait, do you have any alliances with the Barrow Legion? Break military access. Yeah, that's with Sylvania. We could turn him against Vlad if we... Oh, yes, break non-aggression pact with the Barrow Legion. And with the Ghosts of Glan Boreal. You seem to be willing to do that. What about break military? Okay, I just checked that. I don't... The memory... My brain no works so good. Let's... Yeah, let's ignore the Barrow Legion. I mean, it'll take a few more turns to destroy them, but I'd rather not lose some territories to these guys. Take the money. And like so. Alright, thank you, Pestilence. You should like us quite a bit now, and we'll immediately build an outpost. Not to the Corsairs of Spite, but we do want the missions. Let's von Sinclair. Alright, let's pick you. Accept. And Rapturous XS also wants Lutz von Sinclair dead. I think everybody wants him dead. Yes, accept mission. And Clan Septic Otto Allenstag. Okay, yeah, sure. Outpost building is what we wanted. Or outpost upgrading, depending. Abraham... Oh, wow. Kazid Nikawakaz allows us to build basically everything, and it's got a gold mine there, conveniently. I guess we're not going to attack them after all. I mean, if it was Clan Septic here, or whichever clan normally occupies the place, I would have, but, you know, not in this situation. Do you already have something at Karakazor? I guess you do. This would also allow us to build everything. Looks a little bit safer. Yeah, just do that, I guess. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter all that much. Alright, happy with that. Who else needs to move today? Ugg the Recruiter. Oh, I was gonna give you another... Okay, no more names today. We'll do more names tomorrow. You, Griebitz, move. Arachnic, you have a trip to the Empire. A hopefully fun trip to the Empire. I think you're one of the ones that we want to keep the wall, although it really, really hurts with regards to the movement. But oh well. What can you do? One of the armies where it is fairly useful. Nobber and okay, I guess you guys should be able to attack this. Let's have Nobber besiege Castle Drakenfels and WAAAGH begins. Or we could have Grommy do it. Hey, no, I'd actually have Grommy do it. Grom WAAAGH begins here, because if we're going to break through the... Oh. We'd actually want the artillery to break the towers. Frankly, we're just going to auto-resolve it anyway. Makes no difference, really. As long as nothing is going to die. We just already defeated these guys auto. And yeah, a little bit of damage, but hardly surprising. And we're going to occupy. Oh, are you telling me that that guy survived? No, well, not really. Mission successful, mission successful. Good, good, good. We wanted those extra Legion's points. Hey, you, sir, destroy the remnants. And I'll resolve that. Please don't destroy more chariots for doing that. Okay, good. And we're going to go for slaughter captives. A little bit of that control, then go into Raiden Camp, and then go right beside Castle Drakenfels. Hey, another Banner of Eternal Flame. Very nice pickup. Not for you, however. For probably the Death Star army, which is going to be Gorkill's army. Makes much more sense. Speaking of Gorkill, you're going to continuing this way. And Ashukleg Bud, you're going to join this army. Why 2 Orc Shamans in this army? Because they provide plus 20% charge bonus for trolls. Along with some other buffs, I think, but I know that's the one that we care about. Not that their charge isn't already great, but hey, it could always be greater. We like those big numbers. Alright, Arachnic is good, Nobber's good, Gorkill's good, Oglog the Boreable. Oh great, now it's gonna make me laugh every single time. And oh, well. Now I did want to ally with these guys, but since we've chosen Scarbrand, I guess we're gonna attack these guys right now. Scarbrand. Did you raise Dromir Valley instead of taking it? I don't care for that, but... Well, hopefully we don't need to interfere with Nakari, and then he can deal with it himself. What we can do is join war against you. You're only at war with Scarbrand and the Poxmakers of Nurgle. We'll join the Blessed Dread War. Do you want to join against anybody? Torgavan? I don't care about Torgavan. Alright, Scarby, alright, just give us your money. We don't even need his money. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, because Scarbrand will probably need his cash. We could maybe declare war on Castelton? No. We cannot declare war on Castelton. Alright, fine, just do it for free. We'll do it for free. We need teeth, not gold, and our gold is going pretty okay. Though keep in mind that a lot of this, or at least part of this, is because we're because of our current rating situation. Anyway, Razor Standard. Let's put that on. Bone Clubbers are one of the boars. You know what? There's only one Bone Clubber unit in here, so I think we'll give that to you. You already have magic damage, and then our Regiment of Renown has magic damage as well. I did not check whether we need levels, but frankly, we probably won't need them here. Oh, wow. Alright, here we go. Looks like Ugluck the Boarable now is just as quiet as Grimgor. And ooh, I like that chopper. That's a fancy chopper he's got there, and it looks like it would actually fit quite nicely in with the choppers of the Biggins, as in the Savage Orc Biggins. And he does have a essentially a honor guard of bone clubbers here, dad bangers. So yeah, anyway, the first battle for the boar army, or boring army as somebody has taken to calling it, was a little bit easy, but this one should be considerably better. Those Helldrake packs have a massive amount of armor piercing punch that they can pack, 91 weapon strength and most of it armor piercing at that, so we will have to watch out for them heavily damaging our boars. Fortunately, the bone clubbers with their anti-large should be able to lay into them and do quite a bit of damage. We also get a stopping the dragon in its tracks. I was waiting for it to use its breath, and it didn't get quite the whole thing off, and plus seems to have clipped its own Helldrakes. Nice, that worked out well. And Gaze of Mork certainly proving quite useful to stagger the dragon when it was doing that breath. I am very happy with that result. And I was wary of the dragon's breath in the first place, because obviously it was going to destroy or heavily damage one of our basic, not basic, but infantry units. Anyway, over in the background, the boar boys are going ham upon the enemy bleak swords and whatever else they encounter, harpies, dark shards, and black arc corsairs alike, plus their artillery crews are all fair game. As we move in, they all try to run, but you can't outrun a very, very angry pig, apparently, and all you'll get for your trouble is a few tusks, or a few spiky bits, or a spear in the back. A coward's wound for the Druki, and they really shouldn't be running because, well, their own masters wouldn't be too happy about it. Anyway, the boar boys have engaged over in the back, and the enemy is no longer able to fire. Of course, the Helldrakes remain threatening, but the first two units have been destroyed by a combination of one of the Savage Orc boar boy biggins, the pork boys here, with their anti-large, who we kept back rather than looping around specifically to help deal with those Helldrake packs, and the rest of the army is well and truly engaged. Only 2 minutes in fact, and the battle is nearly ours, so it looks like the pig army will once again be victorious. Sadly, Nakari was basically destroyed by the time we got here, but not to worry, I'm sure we'll have a few good fights against Lok here. Alright, and there we go, more of our Savage Orc boar boy biggins. It's always a mouthful to fight off of those Helldrake packs, and it looks like they are certainly doing their thing. Oh, the colors of the Helldrake packs, though, they kind of match the color scheme of the Broken Tusks mob. Damn, a little bit unfortunate, but I think we wouldn't have been able to get access to Helldrakes anyway. As in, I'm not sure that you can actually build them, even if you do ally with the Blessed Dread. I think it's not possible, because I remember trying to ally in another campaign with the with Eltharion the Grim and all of his Mistwalker units. Even though he can build them, you can't have access to them because you count as having 0 capacity for them. I imagine the Helldrakes are the same. Anyway, the battle's ours. Easy enough a little fight, but a fun one, and we got to see a little rock, paper, scissors from the pigs. Hey, they're smart enough for that at least. And maybe they're smarter than the orcs riding them. We didn't bother using the WAAAGH army because we didn't need to. I haven't decided whether we'll delete this one, but we'll keep it around for now. We'll see. Alright, well, I guess the auto-resolve was right about this one. The enemy got absolutely obliterated, crushed, and demolished, whatever. We've got another level for a user, but otherwise the army is fine, and we don't need to heal up. We could, well, we don't need the money anymore either, so I guess we're just gonna slaughter more captives. Nice. We do have to watch out for Lokir coming around, though, and, it's a Day of Banners of the Eternal Flame, as it looks like we got another one. We, by the looks of it, will not be able to reach either of the enemy settlements, but what we can do is move forward and try to get to them. And we make plenty of money via raiding as well. Ooh, and possible free island. How many territories do you have, sir? Only 6. Okay, so we should actually be able to destroy him fairly quickly. Gotta watch out for the Blessed Dread, as in the Black Orc coming around, but Grievous is now ready to go, and so he should be able to head them off if it happens, while picking islands up along the way. Do we have more Colossal Squig capacity? Not yet, but we're working on it. Buildings being builded, and will hopefully provide. What else do we got in terms of moving around? Varag Legbiter. I wish I remembered who you were. Oh, you're one of the new Squigmen. Yes. Well, that's fine. In fact, you're probably going to command the Squigs. What do we have in terms of Goblin Big Bosses? Ooh, another Torturer. Wait. You are a Torturer. And you are a Torturer. What do we have here? Serial Dancer. And I'd love to get 4 Torturers in one army. And you're tough. I like both of those. We can put them in a different army, however. If 4 Torturers is a possibility, then 4 Torturers it shall be. How's our capacity for Shaman looking? 10 out of 11. Ooh, and we just got a new Shroom Grower. That's nice. That's real nice. I'm almost tempted to replace Glugzag here. He has Big Bully. Well, Big Bully fits in this army too, but this army is expensive. Well, we'll put that Shroom Grower somewhere. I'll figure it out over time, unless I forget, which is a distinct possibility, but we'll see. Anyway, Vicious the Despicable, you two are going to fight, but we'll do that at the start of next episode because we are out of time, or at least rapidly approaching. Let's also double check Diplo. How's that Confed looking? Black Venom and Gloomfang, ready to confed. You two not yet, but hopefully. Hopefully eventually. Once again, if push comes to shove, we'll just come over there and we'll beat up their leaders. It would be a pretty big addition to our stuff. We're also going to probably stop collecting land soon, and just to reduce the admin. And frankly, we don't really need any more. And we're looking pretty okay. All we need now are more armies, and that is going to be bound by how long it takes to recruit, rather than anything else. Anyway, Tech Thieves, you got thievery to do. And let's move you and do said thieving you to Salzenland. You can, I guess, steal right here. Chance isn't all that high. Once you just failed again. Alright, we're gonna need some kind of faily name for you, because you failed so many times now that it's getting obnoxious. Ugh. Some kind of Orky Beledna. And Skarsnik Finder? Well, you've got a long way to go, sir. And Gosbag Throat Crunch. Oh, these guys are out here, and I do believe that's it. Alright, I think with that, I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we continue attacking the Blessed Dread, or continue going ham upon the Blessed Dread with the Pig Army, which I'm enjoying very much so far. Gonna get that Squig Army up and running, and continue moving towards Imperial territories, and whatever other territories we pass through on our way. Also, I think once we're done with Athel-Loren, we're going to send Grimgor up north to beat up the Warhost of the Apocalypse, to beat up Archaon. I think that'll be the primary goal for this campaign. Archaon is quite far away from us, and frankly, While we haven't conquered the entire world, we are well on the way, let's say, especially if we consider the other Orky factions. We're doing pretty darn okay. Orky, I should say. And yeah, I think considering what happened both in the End Times and in Storm of Chaos, for those who remember, with Grimgor versus Archaon, I still think the Storm of Chaos version was funnier, but anyway, well, that kind of screwed Archaon's character over a little bit, but anyway, we'll make the final goal of this campaign to defeat Archaon and hopefully single combat for Grimgor, but he'll probably have to work through Sigvald and Azazel and whoever else is on the way. Kolek is sadly dead, but we gotta get to fighting those spiky gits as we do like fighting them. Anyway, more orcs to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.